Do you wake up feeling exhausted no matter how much sleep you've had? Maybe you're dragging yourself through the day, relying on caffeine and sugar just to keep going, or feeling that constant brain fog that makes it hard to focus. Does even the smallest task feel like a mountain to climb? If you've been feeling anxious, moody, or like you just can't handle the stress the way you used to, just know you're not alone. I felt this way as well, and it was due to low cortisol. If any of what I mentioned sounds like you, then you've probably already watched part one of this series where we went through what cortisol is, why it's so crucial for your energy, and the common reasons it might be running low. We also covered the telltale symptoms of low cortisol, like constant fatigue, salt cravings, and that feeling of being completely burnt out. But today is all about solutions. I know so many of you are struggling with low cortisol, and you want practical, effective strategies to start feeling better. That's why in this video, I'm sharing my top tips for boosting low cortisol levels naturally. These are simple things you can start doing today to support your energy, balance your hormones, and finally feel like yourself again. And this topic is especially near and dear to my heart because I've been there myself. Back in 2012, I suffered from cortisol issues after a pretty bad back injury. But instead of getting the right diagnosis, I was misdiagnosed with depression. Now, this is not to say that I have a bad doctor. I actually really like her, but she didn't know what other box to put me in. It took me a long time to figure out what was going on and how to heal my body, which is why I am so passionate about helping you understand and address this issue. We'll cover everything from what you should be eating to how to manage stress in a way that actually works to the supplements I swear by. And make sure to stick around until the end for a bonus tip that's perfect if you're feeling wired at night and can't seem to wind down. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Dr. Renee, and I'm a double board certified doc in both OBGYN and functional medicine. What is it that I do? I help women balance their hormones naturally and rewire their brain for better health. But enough about me. Let's dive into how you can bounce back from low cortisol levels. Before we dive into the solutions, though, I want to share a bit more about my personal story because, like many of you, I've been through this exact struggle. So back in 2012, after a major injury, I started to experience symptoms I had never had before. Before that injury, I was most likely running on high cortisol all the time. I mean, I was a full-time OBGYN and I had twin babies at home. Plus, we had just relocated to a new state. I had changed jobs. These are all big life stressors, and I was trying to keep up with all of it. I didn't have an off button. I was always on the go, burning the candle at both ends. But after that injury, everything came crashing down. I couldn't get out of bed. I started gaining weight and craving sugar and salt all the time. I couldn't function without coffee, and my libido disappeared. My self-esteem plummeted, and I lost all of my self-confidence. I was exhausted, but then at night, I'd get this second wind and stay up until midnight, just unable to shut down. It was like my body and mind were completely out of sync. It got so bad that I finally went to my doctor, and she diagnosed me with depression. While I didn't feel like this is what depression should feel like, I was desperate to feel better, so I went on antidepressants. When the first one didn't work after about 3 months, I tried another, but I was only getting all of the side effects, no relief. And deep down, I knew something else was going on. That's when I started to explore other options, and I eventually got in contact with a functional medicine doctor who told me my symptoms sounded a lot like cortisol dysregulation. After testing, it was confirmed. I wasn't depressed. I was dealing with serious cortisol issues from years of chronic stress and burnout. From that point on, I dedicated myself to healing. I made changes to my diet, lifestyle, and added in some strategic supplements. And while I saw some quick improvements, the overall journey took me about 1.5 years. It was a slow process, but one that truly transformed my life. That's why I'm so passionate about helping women just like you. No one should feel as helpless and hopeless as I once did. And I'm here to guide you through this process so you can start feeling like yourself again. So let's now dive into some of the strategies and supplements that I utilize and I've seen work for many of my clients. Stop dieting and focus on real food. First, let's talk about why you need to stop dieting if you want to support your cortisol levels and feel better overall. I say this a lot in my new program, Ditch the Diet. Dieting makes us dumber. Why? Because it takes away our ability to actually listen to what our bodies need. Instead of paying attention to our natural hunger cues or energy levels, we're focusing on eating at specific times, counting every calorie, or cutting out certain foods altogether. Think about it. When you're on a diet, you're constantly using mental energy to keep track of what you're eating, how much, and when. It is exhausting. By the end of the week, you're so mentally drained from counting and depriving yourself that by Friday, you cave and binge, reaching for whatever you've been denying yourself all week. Sound familiar? And then comes the guilt and shame. By Monday, you're back to starving yourself as punishment for losing control over the weekend. This cycle doesn't just mess with your mind, it messes with your cortisol too. Severe calorie restriction and constant cutting out entire food groups puts stress on your body. Your body doesn't know that you're choosing to diet. It just knows that it's not getting enough fuel. It perceives this as a threat and responds by releasing more cortisol. Your body goes into survival mode, thinking you're starving. So your cortisol levels spike. But as you stay in this stress state, eventually your body just gives up and your cortisol levels crash, leaving you feeling even more fatigued and drained. So what's the alternative? Focus on eating real food most of the time. As Michael Pollan says, eat food, not too much, mostly plants. It's simple advice, but it works. Eat when you're hungry, truly hungry, not just when you're bored or stressed out, and don't cut out your favorite foods entirely. Learn to eat them in moderation and mindfully so that you can enjoy them without feeling like you're breaking the rules. This approach helps your body get the nutrients it needs without the constant stress and mental exhaustion that comes from dieting. When you nourish yourself properly, your cortisol levels can find their natural balance again, and you'll start to feel more energetic and stable throughout the day. And if you're finally ready to break free from the binge deprivation cycle for good, my new program, Ditch the Diet, is open for enrollment right now. Inside, I'll teach you exactly how to unlearn those toxic dieting habits and build a healthier relationship with food. Imagine navigating the holiday season without gaining 10 pounds or needing a crash diet on January 1st. If that sounds like the relief you've been looking for, click the link in the description to join us and start your journey to food freedom today. But hurry, because the doors are closing very soon. And I hope to see you on the inside. Next, manage stress with my ABC method. When it comes to managing stress, I've talked a lot about stress relieving activities in my previous videos. Things like yoga, deep breathing, and meditation. But here's the reality. You need to find what truly works for you when it comes to reducing stress, and then make time to do more of it. What works for me might not work for you. For example, I know so many people who feel more stressed out just thinking about sitting quietly to meditate for 5 minutes. So we're not starting there. Instead, I want to introduce you to my ABC method, which I teach in my 12-week signature program, the Hormone Code. It's a simple but powerful approach to managing stress without the pressure of fitting into someone else's idea of what stress relief should look like. A is for awareness. This is all about becoming aware of what's truly stressing you out. A lot of women I work with are running on autopilot, carrying a load of stress without even realizing what the biggest stressors are. So start by taking a closer look. What in your daily life makes you feel tense or overwhelmed? Sometimes just identifying the source of your stress is the first step to taking control. B is for boundaries. Now, this one is a game changer. Many of the women I work with struggle with setting boundaries because deep down, they feel like they're not good enough. They feel like they have to prove themselves by doing everything for everyone else often at the expense of their own self-care. And let's be real. How many times have you agreed to something you didn't want to do, but you did it anyway because you didn't want to let anyone down? It's time to learn to say no without feeling guilty so you can create space for yourself. And C is for communication. This is where you get honest about your needs and start asking for help. I see this all the time. Women who expect their partners or kids to just know what they need, whether it's help with the dishes or the grocery shopping. And when it doesn't get done, the frustration builds up. But here's the thing, if you don't ask for help, it won't get done. So practice communicating your needs openly. It's not about being demanding or looking weak. It's about creating a support system so you don't have to carry the whole load yourself. And remember, this process is all about reconnecting with what makes you feel good and what reduces your stress. A lot of women I work with have lost touch with what they actually enjoy because they're so used to giving to everyone else. So as you practice the ABC method, make time to rediscover what makes you feel like you again. And comment below with which of these areas you struggle with most. And now, after learning the ABC method, tell us what you're going to do about it. I want to share another I've developed that has been a game changer for me and my clients. It's called the 4Ds: do, delegate, delete, or delay. I see so many women like me who put 10 things on their to-do list every day, when realistically only 3 things are achievable. This sets us up for failure and negative self-talk when we don't get those 10 things done, which adds on unnecessary stress. The 4Ds help us prioritize and streamline our day. So when you're making your daily to-do list, here's what I want you to think about. Number 1, do. What absolutely must you get done today? 2, delegate. What tasks can someone else handle? 3, delete. What tasks are there that are non-essential and don't align with your immediate goals? Get rid of them. 4, delay. What less urgent tasks can be saved for another day? This will help you lighten your daily load. So by applying the 4Ds, you give yourself permission to focus on what truly matters without the guilt of an unfinished to-do list. It's about learning to be realistic and kind to yourself so you don't add unnecessary cortisol spikes from stress. I know what you might be thinking. I think I have cortisol issues. I have a lot of the symptoms you've talked about, but how do I really know if this is the issue? This is where testing comes in. I am a big believer in testing, not guessing. And I offer comprehensive salivary hormone testing where we can check not only your cortisol levels throughout the day, but also your cortisone, estradiol, estrone, estriol, testosterone, DHEA, progesterone, and a few important hormonal ratios. This gives us a complete picture of what's really going on with your hormones. If you're curious about whether your cortisol levels are truly out of whack, or if you want to see how balanced your hormones are overall, check out the link in the description. It includes a personal consultation with me where I interpret your test results and create a personalized plan of action just for you. Let's get to the root of your symptoms and get you on the path to feeling better. Now back to practical strategy number 3 for getting your cortisol levels back on track. Prioritize sleep. Let's talk about one of the most underrated but absolutely essential strategies for balancing your cortisol levels: making sleep a priority. It's one of the best ways to support adrenal health and keep your cortisol levels in check, yet it's often the first thing we sacrifice when life gets busy. Here's why sleep is so crucial for cortisol regulation. Cortisol follows a natural rhythm that is closely tied to your sleep-wake cycle. Normally, cortisol levels are highest in the morning, giving you the energy to start your day, and they gradually taper off throughout the afternoon and evening, allowing you to wind down and prepare for sleep. But here is where it gets interesting. Your body's sleep hormone, melatonin, plays a key role in balancing cortisol. Melatonin is released in the evening as it gets darker, signaling to your body that it's time to start winding down for the night. When melatonin levels rise, cortisol levels naturally drop, helping you to fall asleep and stay asleep. One of the best ways to keep this rhythm in sync is by getting morning sunlight as soon as you wake up. Exposing your eyes to natural light first thing in the morning signals to your body that it's daytime, which helps regulate your internal clock and supports healthy cortisol levels. I personally like to start my day by taking my dog for a walk. Getting that morning light while moving my body helps me wake up and sets me up for the day ahead. But what if you find yourself waking up at like 2, 3 a.m.? This is actually a common sign that your cortisol levels might be off. When cortisol is dysregulated, it can spike during the night, causing you to wake up and find it difficult to get back to sleep. Now, this might happen if your body is perceiving stress, even while you're sleeping, or if your blood sugar dips, which triggers a cortisol response. It's your body's way of saying, hey, something's out of balance here, and it can leave you feeling even more tired the next day. On the flip side, establishing a calming bedtime routine is key for signaling to your body that it's time to unwind. This can be as simple as taking a warm bath, drinking a cup of calming herbal tea, or even reading a book for a few minutes. These small rituals help shift your body into rest mode, encouraging melatonin production and allowing cortisol levels to drop naturally. It's like giving your body a gentle reminder that it's time to slow down and get ready for a good night's sleep. But if your routine is chaotic or you're constantly exposed to screens late into the night, it can throw off this balance. Without a proper wind down routine, your body might stay in go mode when you're trying to sleep, making it harder to fall asleep and stay asleep. And when you don't get enough quality sleep, your body perceives that as a stressor and may start pumping out more cortisol, leaving you feeling even more tired and burned out. Over time, this can contribute to the low cortisol state that leaves you dragging through the day. That's why making sleep a non-negotiable is one of the best things you can do for your adrenal health and your overall well-being. Aim for at least 7 to 8 hours of good quality sleep each night and try to go to bed at the same time whenever possible to help regulate your body's natural rhythms. Create a calming bedtime routine. Limit your exposure to blue light from screens. Keep your room nice and cool, and consider using either blackout curtains or an eye mask to support natural melatonin production. Getting consistent restorative sleep along with morning light exposure can make a huge difference in how your body produces and balances cortisol, helping you feel more energized and balanced throughout the day. And I just want to take a quick second to thank all of you incredibly smart, future-focused women out there who have already subscribed to this channel because you're tired of feeling like crap and you want to feel better. And you know that functional medicine, also known as root cause medicine, is the future of medicine. We are all so sick and tired of feeling sick and tired, but getting told that everything is normal. You are the change makers of the future, and you're here to learn all that you can. If you're not feeling well, but you've not yet subscribed, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. You're going to miss out on some really eye-opening health content that I have coming out. So if you want to stay in the know, smash that subscribe button and hit that little bell icon so you can stay up to date. And if you've enjoyed this video so far, please give it a little love by hitting the thumbs up. That shows me you enjoy this type of content, so I'll make more of it in the future for you. Okay, on to our next strategy. Vagal toning for stress resilience. Now, let's dive into a lesser known but incredibly powerful way to support your body's ability to handle stress. Vagal toning. This might sound a bit technical, but stick with me because it can make a huge difference in how your body responds to everyday stress. Now, let's do a little science lesson here. The vagus nerve is the 10th cranial nerve, and it's one of the longest and most important nerves in your body. It starts in the brainstem and it runs all the way down through the neck, chest, and abdomen, connecting to various organs, including your heart, lungs, and digestive tract. It's like a communication superhighway between your brain and your body, playing a key role in your parasympathetic nervous system, the part that helps your body rest, digest, and recover. Think of the vagus nerve as the brake that calms your nervous system down when you're stressed. When your vagus nerve is well toned, it helps you bounce back from stressful situations more easily and prevents you from getting stuck in a chronic stress response where your body is constantly in fight or flight mode. It helps your heart rate slow down, your digestion kick in, and your mind relax, allowing you to shift smoothly from periods of stress into states of rest and recovery. The goal of vagal toning is to increase your body's capacity to handle stress. It helps you shift more smoothly from on to off, from periods of alertness and stress to calm and relaxation. And the good news is there are simple, effective ways you can start toning your vagus nerve right now. So here are some easy vagal toning exercises you can try. Number 1, somatic stomach pumping. Now this technique involves taking a deep breath in, and then as you exhale, pulling your stomach muscles in and up towards your spine, almost like you're squeezing out the last bit of air. This gentle movement helps stimulate the vagus nerve and can be especially calming when done slowly. Repeat this a few times, focusing on a deep rhythmic breathing pattern. Number 2, cold exposure or cold showers. Splashing cold water on your face, taking a cold shower, or even stepping outside into the cold can activate your vagus nerve. The sudden exposure to cold helps your body shift into a parasympathetic state. If a full cold shower feels too intense, try ending your regular shower with like 30 seconds of cold water. You can also immerse your face in cold water for a few seconds. This can be a quick and effective way to activate your vagus nerve. This is one of the things that I personally like to do. And this is a great option if a full cold shower feels too intense. The cold triggers a reflex called the diving reflex, which helps to slow your heart rate and shift your body into a more relaxed state. Humming, singing, and listening to music are also options. The vagus nerve runs near your vocal cords, so activities that involve your voice can stimulate it. Try humming, singing your favorite songs, or even listening to calming music. It's a fun way to bring more calm into your life, and you can do it anywhere. And if you like to meditate, just add in an Om. Sorry, I was so relaxed. You can try laughter yoga. Yes, it's a real thing. Laughter is a fantastic way to tone the vagus nerve because it triggers the relaxation response. Even a few minutes of genuine laughter can help calm your body and mind. If laughter yoga feels a bit too out there, just find something that makes you laugh, your favorite sitcom, a funny video, or even just laughing with a friend. This is when I save some of those cute animal videos on Instagram so I can go back and watch them when I need a good laugh. Exercise and dance. Moving your body is another great way to stimulate the vagus nerve. Whether it's a walk outside, a dance session in your living room, or a gentle yoga flow, physical activity helps to regulate your nervous system and keeps cortisol in balance. Now, I want to caution you here. I am not talking about excessive cardio sessions for hours on end. This will only worsen your cortisol levels since it is inflicting additional stress on your body. So I want you to be mindful of not only the activity you choose, but also the duration. Massage. Gentle massages, especially around the neck or abdomen, can stimulate the vagus nerve. You can even try self-massage or use a massage tool to target areas of tension and help your body shift into a more relaxed state. And last but not least, time in nature. Spending time in nature is a great way to stimulate your vagus nerve and promote relaxation. Whether it's a walk through a park, a hike in the woods, or even just sitting outside and listening to the birds, being in a natural environment helps lower stress hormones and supports a sense of calm. Exposure to natural sunlight throughout the day, especially in the morning, noon, and evening, can further support your circadian rhythm, which ties back to healthy cortisol levels. Plus, nature offers a natural break from the constant stimuli of screens and daily responsibilities, allowing your nervous system to rest and recharge. Now, let's move on to a topic I know you love, supplements that support your adrenals and cortisol. There are many supplements out there that claim to support adrenal health and balance cortisol, but I want to share with you some of my personal favorites, the ones that I have seen make a real difference, not only in my life, but in my practice. Let's dive into them. B complex. B vitamins play a crucial role in energy production and stress response. They help support the adrenal glands, which are responsible for producing cortisol. B vitamins, particularly B5, pantothenic acid, and B6, pyridoxine, which are known as adrenal nutrients, help the adrenal glands produce and regulate cortisol efficiently. And here's something I've noticed. I find B vitamins low in pretty much every woman I work with, thanks to our poor diets and chronic stress. When you're dealing with ongoing stress, your body burns through the B vitamins quickly. So supplementing can help replenish these essential nutrients, providing the building blocks for balanced energy levels. Magnesium. Magnesium is often referred to as nature's relaxant for good reason. It helps calm the nervous system and is especially effective in reducing the symptoms of stress and anxiety. Magnesium plays a role in regulating the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which controls cortisol production. When cortisol levels are too high, magnesium helps bring them back down. And when cortisol is low, it can help the body better cope with stress. I've also found that magnesium is low in most of the women I work with, largely due to high stress levels and insufficient dietary intake. Magnesium is also great for muscle relaxation and can help support better sleep, which is key for maintaining healthy cortisol levels. Vitamin D. Vitamin D is not only important for bone health and immune function, but it also plays a role in hormone regulation, including cortisol. Low levels of vitamin D have been linked to imbalances in the hypothalamic pituitary adrenal axis, which can disrupt cortisol production. I often find that most, if not all, of the women I work with are also low in vitamin D, whether it's due to lack of sunlight or the use of sunscreen. Supplementing with vitamin D can help support overall adrenal function, especially if you're not getting enough sunlight exposure. This can be particularly helpful during the winter months when it's harder to get natural vitamin D from the sun. Vitamin C. Now, vitamin C is highly concentrated in the adrenal glands and plays a vital role in cortisol production and release. During times of stress, your body's need for vitamin C increases significantly, and it is used in the synthesis of cortisol. Supplementing with vitamin C can help support adrenal function and prevent the depletion of this critical nutrient during periods of high stress. It can also act as an antioxidant, helping to reduce the damage caused by chronic stress. Adaptogens like ashwagandha and shishandra. Adaptogens are herbs that help your body adapt to stress by modulating cortisol levels. Two of my favorites are ashwagandha and shishandra. Ashwagandha is well known for its ability to balance cortisol, whether it's too high or too low. It helps to stabilize your body's response to stress, making it easier to maintain consistent energy levels throughout the day. It's great for those who feel wired yet tired, or for anyone dealing with the ups and downs of stress-induced fatigue. Now, shishandra is another fantastic adaptogen that has been used for centuries. It supports adrenal function, reduces the effects of stress, and can even enhance mental clarity and endurance. And if you want to learn more about how shishandra can help, check out my full video on this powerful adaptogen. And L-theanine. L-theanine is an amino acid found naturally in green tea, and I often call it nature's Xanax. The best part, unlike prescription medications that can make you feel drowsy, L-theanine actually helps you feel more focused and calm at the same time. It helps increase alpha brainwaves, which promote a state of relaxed focus, making it ideal for stress management. It doesn't necessarily lower cortisol directly, but it helps calm the nervous system and balance out the overstimulation that can come from high cortisol levels. It's perfect if you need to unwind without feeling sleepy. Now, I know we've covered a lot today, and it can be tough to remember every little detail when you're trying to make changes in your daily life. That's why I put together a free checklist that sums up everything we've discussed in both parts of the series. It includes the key symptoms of low cortisol, the strategies to boost your levels, and my favorite supplements to help you feel like yourself again. So if you want an easy to follow guide that you can keep on hand as you work through these changes, just click the link in the description to download your free checklist. It's my gift to you for being so committed to your wellness journey. Let's wrap up with the bonus supplement that is super helpful for you night owls. Phosphatidylserine for nighttime cortisol. If you're feeling wired at night and can't seem to wind down, it could be due to elevated cortisol levels when they're supposed to be low. This is where phosphatidylserine comes in. Phosphatidylserine is a phospholipid that helps modulate the stress response and reduce nighttime cortisol levels. It essentially helps calm that nighttime cortisol surge, making it easier for you to fall asleep and stay asleep. It's a great option if you find yourself waking up at 2 or 3 a.m. or feeling like your brain won't shut off when you lie down to rest. These supplements can be game changers when it comes to balancing your cortisol levels and supporting your overall energy and stress resilience. But remember, they are only a piece of the strategy, not the entire strategy. You can't expect a little pill to correct the imbalance. You have to do a little extra work like sleeping, focusing on eating right, and managing your stress. I know we were all conditioned to go to our docs and get a pill for every little symptom we have so it can just magically go away. But my goal here is that you don't stay on any supplements long term. They are there to help you get over the hump while you're working on all of the other stuff. And remember, I'm a doc, but I'm not your doc. So it's always best to consult with your healthcare practitioner before adding any new supplements to your routine, especially if you have underlying health conditions. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to check out part 1, where I talked about the causes and symptoms of low cortisol. And don't forget to grab a copy of the free checklist that I put together just for you. And with that, we'll see you right back here next week. Ciao.